In this video, I'll be explaining my intake process. And I'll be looking at my notes here I have on my screen just to make sure that I'm ticking all the boxes that I need to tick and to make sure that you get the maximum value about what I'm speaking to, stay to the end. Now, a lot of people reach out to me and ask, what is it that I do and how much does it cost? And those are legitimate questions. Those are the questions that I would ask when I'll be approaching someone to work with me. And what I know about humans is what I hear in that voice and that question, what do you do and how much it costs, is I know I need to work with you and I'm looking for a back door on how to not commit. And this may play out for you in relationships. So again, stick around to the end because even this video will have value for you. Each stage of this process in this video that I'll be explaining to you has value. And if you're someone in relationships who feels undervalued, you might not see this value being given to you. Now, the first part of my intake process will be through text, usually. And it's that process where I gauge whether or not I can deliver the results that you really need and really want. So I ask you questions. And in that question process, there's value because there's self-reflection. And in that self-reflection, you are continuously discovering more about yourself. And because I'm interested in what you're discovering, you feel seen, heard, and understood. So you can go even deeper. I'm not going to judge you and condemn you on what you want to create. I am curious. I want to know, who is this person that I'm speaking to? What do they want to create in their life? Now, personal development attracts people who at their core can feel broken, and that brokenness becomes a source of motivation. Let me say that again. Personal development attracts people who at their core feel broken, and that sense of brokenness, the sensation of brokenness, being imperfect, can become a source of motivation. Now, that can become addictive. So I know how to repair this core, and it's unique to every individual. And that's where characterology comes in. Characterology being the technology that can look at a body and see what defenses, masks, and what access to a higher self is available. Now, I also have worked with plant medicine junkies, so people that have a lot of plant medicine journeys, have all these experiences, and people that have come from personal development who've worked with all these coaches, done all these things, breath work, shamanic healing, like I mentioned, plant medicines, ayahuasca, bufo, mushrooms, LSD, 2CB, and they don't know how to integrate those experiences. And that's where the body comes in. I create space in the body for you to feel whatever it is that's there to be felt, which is why I call my one-on-one program Vessel. The goal of Vessel is to clear your body, mind, heart, and soul of as much childhood and ancestral debris to find the gems. And I use heat and pressure on the exhausting patterns in your life to create exhilaration. So basically, after that initial, usually a DM conversation, I'll have a longer conversation with you, a short one. It's shorter, not as long as the last one, where I go deeper into what you want and checking to make sure we're a good fit. And in that shorter conversation, there's a taster of each other's energy. Like if we're going to work together, you want to make sure that the banter and the conversational exchange is fun. It's playful. It's not heavy and dense, and we can go to the denser places, but we can always come back. Be light, be playful. What's going on in your life? What do you want? And I'm also checking in to see, like, why did you want to pick me? Why do you want this change right now? Because if you come from that personal development world, it can be this non-stop, I'm just fixing. Like I've turned people away before just to have a break from personal development. Look, have a break. 9 months. Come see me in 9 months. Live a bit. Stop fixing yourself. Just live a bit. Make some mistakes. Have some fun. And then in that shorter conversation, if I can't help you, then I'll let you know. And then if I can help you, then we'll book a longer call. And in that longer call, we create a plan. I go through your life, listen to what you're saying, and create what it is that you want to create. Because looking for all the dirty stuff, the dark stuff, the shadow, is exhausting. It's on the journey to exhilaration. But if you just stay in looking at how to fix yourself, you just stay there. It's low vibrational. It's exhausting. You keep attracting people that need to be fixed. So your communities are just full of people that need to be fixed. They're not really creating anything that's exhilarating. So in that plan, if you love that plan, if you find that plan exhilarating, like it lights you up, right? It fills you with joy and excitement, and you just want to go and do it. You just want to go and live this life. Then we discuss the investment required to create that exhilaration. Now I said, keep listening to the end, and I'll give you some more value. So here it is. One of my main modalities that I use is called core energetics. And why I love it is it deals with the 3 most important components of what it means to be human. And I take you through, in my conversations and in our sessions together, I take you through the first layer, which is the mask. And these repeat. So a mask might pop up in a session and we look at it. What's there? Is it okay? How deep is this defense? Is it a gift? So the mask is what we present to the world. It's the outermost self. And it's a mixture, and it's a pressurization, and a Frankenstein, and a rainbow cake of the survival strategies and defense mechanisms that you've used to either avoid pain, not feel mistakes, and not look at the unmet needs or unfulfilled needs of the past. So the mask is an aspect of an individual's personality. It's an aspect, so it's a part of it that wants to reach the most idealized version of the self. So who they think that they need to be. It's not who they are, it's who they think they need to be. Which is why I do this screening process. So do you know who you want to be? Or are you lost in this miasma, this cloud, the morass of looking for yourself, which I can help you with too, if you're willing to invest and commit. And then the lower self, so of the 3 layers, there's the mask and the lower self. So the lower self is the aspect of the individual below the mask. And it represents all this pushed aside energy that you don't want to look at, like toxic shame and this self-sabotage, the destructiveness. And the mask really doesn't want to look at that. So if the mask doesn't want to look at it, it also doesn't want to show it to the world. So the lower self is a very challenging aspect to address because it's so shame-ridden. So I don't want to show that. I don't want to show that, I have issues with my body. I don't want to show that how what I'm like in a relationship, or how narcissistic I am. So you hide it. It gets suppressed. And it shows up in the body as some other psychosomatic illness. It could be a thyroid thing, could be a heart thing, could be an autoimmune thing, could be a bone density thing, it can be a gut thing. And there can just be stuff that's going on in the environment that impacts your body, and there can be stuff going on between the mask, the lower self, and the next bit, the higher self, which is influencing your body. So the last point about the lower self is the lower self is potent. Like, it's got power. It's got exhilaration. So why I like core energetics is because it goes deeper into the body to extract that power, to bring it to the surface, while other modalities might try and reframe the mask, just try and put another mask on, move the mask around, convince yourself that the mask doesn't exist. Core energetics really goes into the body and finds the root of the issue. The higher self. The higher self. And some of you might know of the higher self. You might hear it spoken to. People refer to their higher self as, I'm just talking to my higher self, as if it's got some greater authority than who they are right now. And basically, it's the higher self is the part of the individual that resides underneath the lower self. So you've got the mask, lower self, higher self. And it's who you are at the core, the very core of who you are. And it vibrates with the vitality of life. Like, it is pure exhilaration. And it holds the awareness of who you are, the I am. And it's beyond morality. So it's not good, it's not bad. It's what is real for you. It's at the root of individuation. And the higher self is the catalyst for connection. Like, it really allows you to connect to people at a heart level, at a somatic level. It's freedom. It's ultimate freedom. Freedom in your relationships, freedom in your life, freedom to speak, freedom to behave sexually however you want. And the more you stretch into those edges of who you are, the more fun life is. The more you meet people that are the same. You just attract them. I've spoken to this before in some of my other videos. I see the heart is the initiator, the sounding device that hits the bones through the musculature system, which sends out the pulse of who you are. It's like ding, 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 ding. The people come to you, ding, ding. This person wants help, ding. Conversation, ding. Lead you to the next mission in life, whatever that is, ding. So when your body is free, when your vessel is clean and pure, and there's the debris is minimized that's impacting your life negatively, then you're a clean sounding board. Like, if you've ever played a broken singing bowl or a broken instrument or an out of tune guitar or an out of tune piano, it's exactly it. So core energetics and what I do is I help you tune your instrument. Make sure that F sharp's an F sharp. So when you communicate, you're communicating from integrity, your own self, who you are, the I am. And I use other techniques like within the characterology and the body work, like deep listening, The psychodynamics is required. Psychodynamics is taking you into your past, looking at the root causes. And it doesn't always need to be this childhood memory. There can just be an emotion. Go back to 3. What was it 3? Go back to 17. What was it 17? What was your conversation with your dad at 17? Your mum, your sister, your brothers, bullied at school, whatever it is. It's not, the story's important, and it's the debris of the emotion that's unfelt. The unsaid words, the unexpressed rage, the unexpressed love. Logotherapy, which is about giving the individual power for their existential reason for living. The individual has the power. Gestalt, which I've posted a video about before in my private group. Breath work, so I use a very particular, unique breath work. It's beyond Wim Hof, where you use body movement. Staccato breathing. These are breaths that have been designed by John Parakos, Alexander Lowen, and Wilhelm Reich to make sure you can go deep into the body and feel whatever is there. Constellations work. Systemic constellations and voice dialogue and other little knickknacks and things that I've picked up along the way. So, if you feel like you want to work with me and this video has been helpful for you, or you know someone else in your life that would really benefit from working with me, then share this with them. Like, that initial wanting to do it is the authentic version of you. And just reaching out and having that conversation, you will get value. And we'll discover what it is that you want to create, your life, if we're a good fit. And you'll always get value. Your time is not wasted, because you'll discover more about yourself, which flows out into your communities and your family and your life. Don't you want that? I think that's exhilarating. And if you've watched to the end of this video, I reckon you want to be exhilarated too. So, just start now. Why wait? Why wait? All right. Thank you so much for listening. And if you've got value from this video, then post it in the comments, share it. Because in you giving me that value, you're building those muscles to feel value, to give it, to receive it. Thank you, John. Thank you for whoever's listening. I appreciate you. I love you. And I look forward to working with you. Bye.